What is up, guys? So welcome back to part 2. I know I said part 3 the other day, but part 2 of this Murano job. So today what we're going to do is, and I actually already started it yesterday but I didn't film any of it, is we have to remove all of the accessories, the exhaust manifolds and everything else off of the old engine, and we need to then remove the old engine from the cradle and the transmission and everything else. Now I'm going to take you guys along in the form of time lapse because this is long, tedious work and it's something I don't necessarily want to film full on. So what I'm going to do is I'll take you guys over, we'll show you what we're going to do. We have a couple wiring changes we need to make too, because this engine is out of a 2014 and this car is a 2009. So the one difference that I noticed with this so far in the harness is that the oxygen sensor plugs are different. So we're basically just going to repin to the newer style plug, or take the newer style plug and make it the older style plug so that it can still utilize the oxygen sensors. That was one thing that changed on it. Everything else appears to be the same, but we'll figure that out once we get the new motor on the stand. We'll make sure it plugs into the transmission. We'll make sure that it plugs into everything. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take you guys over to the motor. We'll show you what our progress has been, and we're going to show you what we're going to do now. Alright, so here's what we got done so far. We got both exhaust manifolds off. We got a lot of the harness off. We got a lot of the stuff unbolted from back here. But what we got to do now is we actually have to pull this transfer case off of here, because there's a bolt behind it that we can't get to, and then it'll interfere with the engine coming off of this. I'm going to try to do it without having to take that off, but it's not looking good. Then we got to take off this mount right here that holds this axle in place, and then we've got another engine mount down here that we actually have to remove. And then once we get all that done, we are literally ready to pull this engine off of this cradle. So hopefully we can do that without too much effort going on here. If I can get that bolt in the back without having to take the transfer case off, that's going to be amazing. But we did remove all the bolts underneath it just in case we do run into that problem, so we'll be good. And then these are the oxygen sensor connectors that I was talking about. This connector here is an older square style one. The new style connectors are a flat 4-wire, so we're just going to have to rewire. The harness colors actually match, so we can literally just cut the plugs off of this harness, solder them, heat shrink them on the new harness, and everything will be golden, and we won't have to remove all of the intake manifold and everything else to actually replace the harness. Plus, this harness is actually kind of brittle, and I noticed that there were a couple wires that were starting to break, so it's actually good that we're using a newer style harness. Then we're going to get the power steering pump off, we're going to get the AC compressor and the alternator off, and then yeah, we should be able to pull this thing no problem. So let me get the GoPro set up and we'll start the time lapse. Well, thank God I got you guys on time lapse, because if you could hear the curse words that are coming out of my mouth when I'm trying to figure out what in the F all of these engineers were thinking with these things. But anyway, motor's back in the cradle. This is the new motor. You can see it's much cleaner, much nicer looking, and was very well taken care of. Yeah, so it's back in the cradle. It actually slid right in pretty easy. We bolted it back to the trans. We got it sitting up on a jack stand and a block of wood right now, tilting the motor up a little bit that way because we need to get the transfer case back in and then all the accessories, and then we'll put it down in its rightful spot. And once we get everything hooked back up and put back on, we will get that back up in the car. And I am not going to film anything until it is ready to go back up in the car, because you guys saw me take it all off. There's no difference in putting it back on. It's just the opposite of what I did. So I'm gonna go grab something to eat because I'm starving. Then I'm going to get all the accessories back on this motor and get it ready to go back up inside the car. And once it's ready for that, we'll bring it back. All right, guys, so there it is. It is actually all put back together in the cradle, ready to go. All the accessories are back on. Everything is good. And we are golden. So now we are going to put it back in the car. And I'm gonna throw it on time lapse. We'll get it back in the car. We'll see if we can get this thing buttoned up tonight and maybe running. One of the things I kind of wanted to give you guys a quick, maybe a little tip, I guess. If you're doing this for somebody, a friend, a family member, or you're trying to become a mechanic and you're charging people to do stuff like this, remember that you have to account for the time that it's going to take to switch everything from the old motor to the new motor. A lot of times people forget about that, and in this case, it's a lot. It's a good 2 hours to remove everything from the old motor, a good 3 hours to put everything back on the new motor, and then get everything back in. So a lot for that time. There's a reason why engine jobs remove and replace take 15 hours or whatever it may be. And that's because of the fact that you do have to account for that time. So, all right, enough talking, enough babbling. Let's get this thing back in the car. Alright guys, so I was going to do a three-parter, but it's not worthy of 3 parts. We basically put everything back together the same way it came apart, so no real need to see that, but everything is in now. It's all wired back up. Everything is plugged in, hooked up, cinched down, tightened up, you name it. So now we are going to fire this thing up for the very first time. Now, we didn't put any coolant in it, and that's another, I don't know, let's call it words of wisdom from Morfab Industries. Do not fill up the coolant until you know that the engine runs, because if you need to, for some reason, pull this thing back out of here, draining coolant is a pain in the ass and it gets expensive. So just do yourself the favor, don't put coolant in it until you know the thing runs. So, alright guys, here we go. We're going to fire this thing up, see how she runs. Alright, so here we go. Let's see what she does. There we go. Beautiful. She fires right up. Alright guys, so now that we know that it runs and it runs good, it fires right up every time. We have no leaks, no power steering leak, no trans leak, no oil leaks, no fuel leaks most importantly. We can go ahead and fill this thing with coolant, and then we're going to bring it up to temperature. Make sure that once it's at temperature we don't have any coolant leaks, we don't have any other leaks whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead, pop coolant in this thing, and then probably take it for a test drive once we verify that everything is okay. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this two-parter on this Murano. I know that a lot of you guys want to see the welding stuff, and we'll get to that. I promise you we'll get to that. We are going to be moving shops very soon. So we're going to have a lot more room to do more at once, which means that I can get more videos out. We can do more interesting things. We'll be able to put in a second lift and get that stuff going. So we're going to be okay in a little bit. So just bear with me. These are some of the videos I like to make because you know what? If you decide to do this job yourself, it gives you some tips and tricks on what to look out for and maybe how to do it. So that is it. We're going to fill it and send it. So thank you guys for watching this video. I truly appreciate all of you. I will see you all on the next one. Please don't forget, it helps me out immensely when you guys click that like button. It also helps out incredibly when you click the bell icon to get notified when I post. And lastly, please subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what you see, subscribe. And that gives me the motivation to make more and more of these so that you guys have something to watch. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.